Hey Pisces, I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a general September reading for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. Okay, so this is for September, Pisces. Let's see what we have here for you. What's going on for Pisces September? What is that? Okay, we got the Death card showing up here. Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements for September. Okay. All right, Pisces. What's your overall here? Six of Cups. This is interesting. Six of Cups will often show up as a card of the past. Like if you're reminiscing on the past reminiscing about you. You got a lot of Scorpio energy here now that I think about it. You got the Six of Cups. You got the King of Cups on the bottom. You got the Death card starting off. You actually have a lot of major arcana here, but the Death card is your starting card, and it kept wanting to, come out. So yeah, that's what, this is your first card here. And you can see in the background, if it will focus, there's a sun rising back there in the Death card. It's meant to symbolize like rebirth, right? And then we get the sun down here. So I do feel like there is this energy of rebirth here with you all in the month of September. I'm wondering if some of you could be closing out a karmic cycle, or if like maybe there's this past life connection that you're involved in right now, and it's possible that you're kind of like, getting over this person. You're like, you know what, I'm kind of off you. Like, like that's the energy that I get here for some of you. You could be looking back on the way that things were, and you're like, I don't really feel that anymore. Something has lost its zest. I don't know. It's just you've lost your fire for that. So yeah, it kind of feels to me like you are getting over something here, Pisces. Underneath it, you've got the moon. Some of you, I feel like intuitively, you know that this has to end, or you know that there's something much better up ahead for you. There's something more. A lot of you, I feel like you're looking at this situation and you're thinking there's got to be something more than this, right? So that's the energy that I feel here. It's like night and day difference coming up for you all. You literally have the sun and the moon showing up here. Night, day, hello, The moon, it is a card that can represent hidden things, while the sun is like everything is being exposed. It's out in the open, right? But the sun is also the happiest card in the deck. It's high vibrations, it's joy, it's new beginnings. And there is an eclipse there where I feel like with this energy, the eclipse could be what ends up causing this here. Yeah, because the world is right above that, as a matter of fact. Yeah, because you got the world right here above the sun card. And the world is like stepping out of one world into another, Pisces. I feel like there's this big change happening. And I feel like the eclipse is what ends this like strange era. It feels like there's this era where you keep going back to something, or you keep like, say for example, you quit a bad habit and then you pick it back up, right? You quit a person and then you reach out to them again. It's feeling like that, where you keep repeating something and you're like, why do I keep repeating that? I'm so frustrated. Why am I not keeping these promises to myself? I feel like there's a lot that you're about to learn in the month of September. And then you get the King of Swords, and I'm very drawn to the butterfly on the back. This is just total metamorphosis here, Pisces, with the King of Swords energy showing up, because you're finally looking yourself in the face, like you're being honest, I wish that these would focus a little better. Because there's a butterfly on his throne. I think there are multiple butterflies on his throne. Yeah, there are. But if you look at like other court cards, for example, King of Cups is kind of facing off to the side. Underneath that, we have the King of Pentacles. He's looking down. So to me, King of Swords, because it's the only court card that will face you straight, it talks a lot about honesty, truth. So I feel like not only are you being honest with others here, Pisces, in the month of September, but you're being honest with yourself about what needs to come to an end, okay? I feel like there is this odd cycle where people aren't really talking. There's something here where you're wanting some clarity, you're wanting some sort of communication, and I feel like it's being withheld, and I feel like it's being withheld on purpose for your growth here. I feel like there's something about this King of Swords energy that's like Spirit saying, hello, Pisces, you already know. You don't need somebody to confirm that to you. I feel like that's what Spirit is trying, like that's the message they're trying to drive home here. However, at the same time, it seems like the World card showing up as soon as you step into that new chapter, this new version of you, you do get that clarity. So it's very interesting. I feel like you're showing yourself a certain level of respect. And whenever you do that, it's sort of sending this signal out that you're not going to settle for anything less. And I feel like then there's some kind of communication that comes in that clears something up, maybe even an expression of some deeper emotion here. or at least reasoning. You know, some of you, it may not even be like deeper emotion, but I feel like it could be reasoning for something here. And I do feel like it's a little bit of it leads into a deep conversation. I'll put it that way. Let's see what else we got here, Pisces. Some of you could be signing a contract of some sort in the month of September, maybe even a lease or a deed. I feel like there could be a move for some of you here, Pisces, in September. Seven of Wands is showing up. Seven of Wands can show up when you're beating the odds in a situation. You stand out. You know, a lot of you, I feel like this is that line that you're drawing with this bad habit or this toxic relationship, whatever the case may be. You're drawing that line. You're done with it. I feel like you've really done the work here with the Moon card showing up, like you're digging deep here to figure out what's going on. And I feel like some of you are realizing, you know, the purpose of this connection or the purpose of this chapter here that you've been in. It feels like this really bizarre in-between space where it's like you're dancing in the doorway here of, do I want to let this go? Some of you, if it's a habit, it could definitely be a coping mechanism of some sort. Some of you, if it's a person, it could still be a coping mechanism. Some of you, it might have to do with some deep-rooted insecurities that you're discovering here. And the sun, you know, astrologically talks about the self. So I feel like for some of you, you're realizing, you know, you're realizing where to pour that energy into rather than waiting on a person to validate you. You have the Seven of Pentacles showing up here because, yeah, I feel like this is Spirit plainly saying, like, you're focused on the wrong things. We have something here at your foot. Look right here. Look right here. That's what I feel like Spirit is saying, and I feel like they're pushing you into this new chapter here. Some of you may have a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, or Leo coming your way in the month of September. Some of you, this person's a Capricorn might reach out to you, or an Aquarius. I feel like somebody's wanting to clear the air with you here, Pisces. Let's see what else we have. I feel like emotions are overflowing at this time in the month of September. There's just this huge energy of transformation. It's like I said, the butterfly. It's like metamorphosis, Pisces. I feel like you've been being prepared for this new chapter coming up. High Priestess, there you go. Well, there you go. I also feel like for a lot of you, this has to do with your spiritual gifts developing, learning to trust yourself. I feel like some of you have been relying too much on external, you know, folks. And it's not that we can't listen to people, right? It's not that we can't take advice or we can't consider things that other people are saying, right? Because that would be closed-minded. But what I mean here is that for some, maybe you've been relying fully on, you know, say for example, if this is a connection, it's like, why doesn't that person want me? You know, I figured they would want me, right? Maybe you've even kind of lowered your standards, feeling like, well, if I'm up here and I'm giving all of this and I'm going for this person who's not got much going for them, then they definitely can't betray me. They definitely can't abandon me, right? So it's kind of giving me that energy here for whatever Pisces I'm connecting with, because I know this isn't going to hit home for all of you, but I do feel like for some you could definitely be chasing validation, right? And I think that when it comes to this Ace of Cups energy, there is this shedding of that. There is this cleanse, I guess you could say. And it's ironic because right after this happens, I feel like there is a truth that comes in. There is communication. By that point, you don't really need it anymore because the High Priestess is the energy that you're in, Pisces. I feel like you just have this inner knowing already that, you know, it happened how it was meant to happen, right? So, yeah, I feel like a lot of karmic lessons are being, you know, are being learned here. I feel like a lot of cycles are closing. You're becoming more, you know, emotionally intelligent, emotionally aware, I should say. You know, and I feel like I feel like this is really preparing you for higher development when it comes to your spiritual gifts, your intuitive gifts here. So yeah, Pisces, that's what I'm seeing here for you. I hope that this was helpful or fun or whatever you needed it to be. Don't forget that I do have personals open right now. There is a deal going on. It is a 3-question video reading. It's $25.25. You get it within 48 hours. Pisces, this does close on August 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So get your hands on that if you are interested, of course. But if this is where we part, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.